All right, let's jump right in. We're about to tackle one of the most important skills in business today, data management. Now, I know it might sound a little technical, but trust me, by the end of this, you'll see exactly how the best companies are taming this data beast to make some seriously smart moves.
So here's the situation pretty much every company finds itself in. They are literally drowning in data. I mean, it's coming from everywhere. Every website click, every sale, every little sensor ping. But here's the catch. Just having a mountain of information doesn't mean you actually know anything. And that brings us to this massive paradox, right? With more data than at any point in history, why do so many leaders feel like they're just guessing? Well, the answer isn't about getting more data. It's all about the quality of the data you already have. And believe me, the stakes here are incredibly high. When your data is a total mess, it's like you're trying to drive a race car with a muddy windshield. You can't see what's behind you to learn from it. You miss the warning lights flashing on your dashboard, and you drive right past these huge opportunities. And the worst part? You end up making massive decisions based on just plain wrong information. Okay, so to get out of this mess, we have to know what we're aiming for. What does quality data even look like? It really just boils down to a few key things. First and foremost, it has to be accurate. This one's a total non-negotiable. The data needs to reflect reality, period. No mistakes, no typos. It's just got to be correct. Next up, it's got to be reliable. This just means it's consistent. If you pull a sales report today and your boss pulls it tomorrow, you both get the exact same numbers. You have to be able to count on it. And, I mean, what's the point of having perfect data if your team can't get their hands on it? Accessibility is absolutely critical. The right people need to get the right information right when they need it most. But accessibility has a flip side, and that's security. It's great that the right people can get in, but you have to be 100% sure the wrong people are kept out. And this isn't just a good idea. In many cases, it's actually the law. And finally, it has to be timely. Let's be real. A brilliant business insight based on last year's data is probably worthless today. For data to actually matter, it has to be fresh. Okay, so we have our goal: accurate, reliable, accessible, secure, and timely data. Great. But how in the world do we get there? Well, the strategy has two parts that sound really similar, but are actually totally different: data management and data governance. Here's the easiest way to think about this. Data management is like the plumbing of your house. It's the actual pipes, the wrenches, the day-to-day work of moving and storing the water. Data governance, on the other hand, is the blueprint for the entire house. It decides who gets a key, sets the rules for how the plumbing should work, and makes sure the water coming out of the tap is actually clean and trustworthy. And you can really see that here. Data governance isn't just one more box to check. It's the central hub. It's the brain of the whole operation that guides everything else. From security to architecture, governance is the thing that provides the rules and the trust that holds this whole system together. All right, now let's pop the hood and look at the engine that drives all this. At the very heart of any modern data strategy, you are always going to find a database. And you can't really talk about a database without talking about its boss, the DBMS, or Database Management System. The best analogy for a DBMS? It's like a super-powered librarian for all your information. It's the software that knows exactly where everything is, keeps it all organized, and helps you find exactly what you're looking for instantly. So the DBMS plays this crucial role of go-between. See, on one side, you've got all your raw data just sitting in the database. And on the other side, you've got all your people and your apps, your sales team, your accounting software, whatever. The DBMS sits right in the middle, acting as the single gatekeeper, making sure everyone is working from the same, up-to-date, consistent pool of information. So how does this librarian keep things so organized? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It uses a table, just like this. Each column, like first name or hire date, is called a field. Each full row, which represents one unique thing, in this case an employee, like Sarah Jenkins, is called a record. And see that first column, the primary key? That's a unique ID number that makes sure we never ever mix up Sarah Jenkins with David Chen. It's like a social security number for each piece of data. Okay, we've gone through the problem, the ideal solution, and the tech that makes it happen. But let's get to the big question. Why does any of this matter to you? What's the actual payoff for doing all this work? This, my friends, is where it gets really good. First off, you get to make better decisions with way less risk. When you can actually trust the numbers in front of you, you stop guessing.
You start making calls based on what's really happening.
Second, this almost always leads to more sales and way happier customers. Why? Because quality data helps you understand what people actually want so you can stop blasting generic ads and start personalizing their experience. It also unleashes innovation and productivity. Just think about it for a second. How much time do your teams waste hunting down the right spreadsheet or arguing over whose numbers are correct? When the data is just there and it's trusted, they can focus their brainpower on their real jobs and on coming up with the next big idea. And this one is huge. Good data management keeps you out of trouble. So many industries have really strict rules about how you have to protect and handle data. Getting this right isn't just a good idea, it's an absolute requirement. So when you boil it all down, here's the bottom line. Getting your data house in order has a direct impact on your success. It helps you cut costs, bring in new customers, make your current customers happier, and maybe most importantly, spot those game-changing opportunities your competitors are completely missing. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. In today's world, there is no question that your data is one of your most valuable assets. So the only question left is, are you treating it that way?